Hello and welcome back to Will It Work. Today we're going to take a look at the NES Power Pad and see if we can get it connected to the Nintendo Switch. So this floor controller came out originally in 1986 from Bandai, and Nintendo liked what they saw and they bought it from them, redesigned it and rebranded it the Power Pad, and it came out in 1988. There were about 11 games you could play with it, mostly running games and rhythmic dancing games. But the Power Pad is one of those special controllers like the Power Glove and the Arkanoid controller in that they use two of the extra data pins on the NES connector port. Most controllers don't use those pins like the gamepad or joystick, and also most of the adapters out there for NES controllers don't work with these type of special controllers either. In fact, the only one I've ever found that converts it successfully is also, ironically, the least expensive one, and that is Retro USB's NES adapter here for $11. This is the same one that I used in my Power Glove videos a couple of years ago, and it will convert Nintendo controllers into a generic USB HID controller. Now that's great if you're plugging it into Windows, Mac, or Linux, but not so great when you want to use it on a console because they have proprietary protocols and their USB connections. So we need one more adapter. That's going to be this here, the Titan one. I also use this with the Power Glove videos I did. And this will take one console's game controller and turn it into another. So you can take PlayStation controllers and turn it into Xbox controllers, or you can take Nintendo controllers and turn it into PlayStation controllers and so forth. What makes this really unique among these type of adapters is this is the only one I found that actually will take those generic USB HID controllers for computers and output it into the console protocol as well. This also allows you to do a lot of remapping and program scripts on it. The Titan one does a million things that I'm not going to go into here, but for the most part we're going to be converting it from one format into the Switch Pro controller on the output. Now when I plug this in, with the Retro USB's adapter, when it's just a generic HID USB device on my computer, all of the buttons on this pad on both sides work perfectly. When I plug it into the Titan controller, I can map almost every button on here except for 7 for some reason, but I still was able to make a D-pad from 3, 11, 6, 8, and then A and B buttons from 1 and 2. And if I plug that into my Mac, which works natively with Nintendo Switch Pro controllers, it is identified as such and works perfectly, and I can use it in any game. When I take this now and plug it into an actual Switch, that's when it starts to fall apart. And most of the buttons don't work, and most of the remapping doesn't work. And I spent an inordinate amount of time trying to figure out why this was not working. I didn't really notice that with the Power Glove, but then I was mostly just dealing with the left analog stick, which isn't in play here. I even went out and bought a second Titan because I thought mine was defective, and that's just not the case. So what I was able to get working was, without any remapping, is the 2 and the 4 will be the left and right buttons on the Switch Pro controller, and I was able to remap the 1 to the A button. So that gives us some rudimentary controls, and I have a couple of games that I think might work with this setup. So let's go down to my basement and see how this is all going to play out. Okay, so I'm going to have my son demonstrate this because nobody wants to see me jumping up and down on this pad. Okay, start it up. Flippers are working just fine. Go ahead. And here we go. Okay, we got the drawbridge down. Gates up. All right. Got 2 more balls. Hey, we got it. Absolutely possible with the Power Pad. Okay, so another thing the switch lets you do is remap the buttons internally. So in this case, I've remapped that left and right button to D-pad left and right and remapped the A button to B, so we should be able to play a simple platformer like Super Mario Wonder. Take it away.
Oh, whoopsies.
Keep going. Perfect. So yes, we absolutely can get the Power Pad working with the Nintendo Switch. Not quite as much as I really wanted it to, but seriously, considering the convoluted nature of all this, I'm just going to have to declare victory here on this one, and it is what it is. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. As always, if you're enjoying my channel, please like and subscribe. I'll be back soon, but that's all for now. Take care.